Welcome. This is Better Decisions for Life, the channel that gets you thinking and sometimes gets you blocked. I recently read an article. It was titled Harvard Scientists Begin Experiment to Block Out the Sun. And this article came from Forbes. And so the author basically talked about how a group of Harvard scientists plan on doing something to tackle climate change. What they're planning on doing is getting like something that kind of looks like a huge hot air balloon, and it's just is what the picture looks like. It looks like a huge hot air balloon. They're gonna put like a whole bunch of calcium carbonate inside of it, and then they're gonna let it float off or control it to where they want it to go, kind of like launch it off into the stratosphere, Earth's stratosphere. And this is being done so that the particles that are released can, kind of like deflect the sun from coming at the Earth. Like, kind of like put a reflective shield around the Earth's surface, so that the sun's rays cannot penetrate the Earth. And this is going to be done to try to control the temperature of Earth, and also minimize the rays of the sun. And then this research is being based off of research that was done after a volcano erupted somewhere in the Philippines. And so what they found was that a whole bunch of, I think, sulfur dioxide was released into the stratosphere, and it created like a natural shield, and it cooled the Earth for like, I think, a year or something of that nature. All right. My concern about this is that, first of all, they're messing with nature, okay? And the person who is going to be funding this is Bill Gates. I'm sure you all should know Bill Gates, Microsoft Bill Gates. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. If you don't know about him, you can just Google him. But imagine, like, he's trying to have the power to block the sun. He's funding this experiment to try to block the sun. And how is it going to affect people in general? But as a person, I always think about things in terms of my place in the world and my function in the world. And I am a person, I have melanin in my skin, and I need the sun more than almost any other race of people, because I have dark skin. Now I would say I'm more like, I'm a brown, a dark brown, not like a very dark brown, but I'm brown. I'm very brown, okay? And so, according to scientific research, I myself and other black people should be in the sun more often because of the processes that go on in our bodies and how our vitamin D is produced. We need to be in the sun longer for us to produce vitamin D in our bodies, because the darker your skin is, the more sunlight you may need. So people with lighter skin tones, they don't need to be in the sun that much. If they are, they're going to get probably sunburnt. So the darker your skin is, the more you're able to tolerate being in the sun longer. But that means you also need to stay in the sun longer to be healthy and to not have a vitamin D deficiency. And people who tend to live in cooler countries, or countries in North America, specifically like Canada and the US, there are 4 seasons, so the sun is not out constantly. And in most cases, you can go like weeks without having sun, or it just being very cloudy, and you're not getting that direct sunlight. So imagine Bill Gates, the same guy who was just up in Kenya not too long ago, whose foundation got called out for making women infertile. This is the same Bill Gates who's talking about releasing some type of genetically modified mosquito somewhere in Africa, I believe Burkina Faso, to control like the population of, it's meant to actually stop the spread of malaria, stop mosquitoes from producing and things, but and so it's making them infertile. But imagine if that mosquito bites someone. Now, the only mosquito that will bite someone will be a pregnant mosquito because she's trying to feed her family. So if there's a genetically modified mosquito that's going to mate with her, then that's going to make her infertile. But imagine if she's already pregnant, right? And so she goes to feed off of a human being. Then is that mosquito going to spread whatever infertile chemical that created that infertility, and they're going to pass it on to humans, just like what happened with the Zika virus. And then they genetically modify mosquitoes, and then they passed on that virus to women, and those women ended up having babies with all types of deformities. And so I'm bringing this up because these are things that Bill Gates have been involved in. Honestly, anytime I hear his name, I'm like, oh shit, what is he gonna do now? What is going on now? Like, you constantly have to ask questions. And I feel like this is this little project they got going on here, this huge project that they're trying to make it seem like it's not so big. This is, geared towards melanated people. And even like right now, 2018 honestly has been dedicated to minimizing the fertility of black people all around the world. Like, if you constantly look at charities and what's going on in Africa and in the money that's being donated and funded, in so many countries they're trying to control the fertility of black people. Nigeria has some things going on trying to promote lowering their birth rates. Now, I know Nigeria has a outstanding population of people, right? But just look, there is an agenda going on, and everything is really connected. And so imagine, like, because people know that, like, those scientists know that black people are protesting what they're offering, and black people are becoming so conscious to the fact of their fuckery and how they're trying to spread it, that they're saying no. We're going to reproduce all we want to, and you're not going to control my life. You're not going to control our people. And people don't even understand with what black Americans and their ancestors had to go through with being sterilized and not even knowing it. Or, getting illiterate people to just sign something when they don't even know how to read and they didn't know what they were signing up for, and ended up being sterilized. There are so many stories that we constantly talk about, but come on, now you're trying to take away our son. That's the breaking point. And not only that, not just for the people, but imagine the food, and imagine all those people that live in the tropics. Imagine all those people who really, listen, the sun is for everybody on this earth, right? And I'm not trying to make it seem like I don't like other races of people, or I don't care about other races of people, though. But in reality, the people who tend to be most affected by the sun, or the lack of, science has shown it's black people. It's black people. So Bill Gates and his people and his scientists, goons, who are trying to block out the sun. And I hope people become aware of what's going on, because this is serious. So, you see all these people talking about, just arguing back and forth on social media, and just honestly really talking about nothing but the real things that are going to affect people in their life, that like is going to be on the front hand of whether you even get food or not. People get so wrapped up into listening to the same stories over and over again. Open your mind up. There's something bigger going on here. So what I do is I try to, help my family members become aware of things like this. People would say, "Oh yeah, Bill Gates has done some wonderful things, and it's trusting of him." And a lot of just because he has money and his skin color, and he's the same person up here like trying to give people chickens and stuff. Yeah, what's in those chickens? Mhm. But anyway, so people aren't falling for the in regards to his fertility plans and trying to get people sterilized. They're trying to lower the birth rates of black people. So now, you know what? Now he's taking it further. Like, nah, I'm gonna take your son away. Okay. I also wanted to inform you that the sun, okay, if it's helping you produce vitamin D, now imagine if you're not getting sun. Low levels of vitamin D, scientists have proven to show that it affects the fertility of men and women. Anyway, if you've gotten this far, I appreciate you for listening. And I hope this was some good information for you. Now it's up to you to let it marinate and what's going to be your move. You know, if anything, create awareness, let other people know what's going on. Have a great day.